considering a career change, returning after a few years off, or finally ready to finish the degree you started, we're really glad that you're here. For the next hour, we're going to be answering some of the biggest questions that people have about college. We'll talk about everything from financial aid and scholarships to admissions, choosing the right program, balancing school with work and family, and the many resources available to help you succeed once you're here. Our goal tonight is simple: to help make college feel a little less overwhelming and to show you that you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. I'm Mary Beth Head from the WKCTC Marketing Office, and I'll be your host this evening. Joining me behind the scenes is my co-worker, Lindsay Gibson. Lindsay will be sharing helpful links, phone numbers, and resources in the chat throughout the live stream. And she'll also be keeping an eye on your comments. She may even pop on screen from time to time to help us answer questions, so don't be shy. If you have a question about admissions, financial aid, academic programs, student life, or anything else about WKCTC, go ahead and type it into the comments now. We'll be answering those questions live throughout the evening. And because we appreciate you spending your evening with us, we're giving away a $500 scholarship for the fall 2026 semester, along with a few other prizes. Entering is easy. Just click the link that Lindsay is sharing in the chat and complete the short form. Everyone who fills it out during tonight's live stream will be entered into the drawing, and we're going to announce those winners at the end of tonight's live stream just in a few minutes. Now let's get started. It's my pleasure to welcome the Chancellor of West Kentucky Community and Technical College, Dr. Anton Reece. Hey, Dr. Reece.
Thank you so much, Mary Beth, and certainly welcome to each and every one of you. I am incredibly thankful that you're taking the time out to join us for this live stream event customized just for you. I'm also excited. This is huge. This is a huge decision to come to WKCTC, and I have really three simple asks. First and foremost, I want you to ask good questions. We got a great team on standby. There are no, as they would say, stupid questions, etc. Put the team to work. Second, I want you in real time to text 3 people that you know to have them to join us tonight as part of this conversation. And third, as you come to WKCTC, I want you to be involved both inside and outside of the classroom. And I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you right here at WKCTC in the not so distant future.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Reece. And you heard it here first. He has charged everybody out there to text this stream to 3 people that you know, because somebody out there knows somebody who needs to hear this tonight. So at WKCTC, we believe that education has the power to change lives. And every day we get to see students doing exactly that. Now, we could spend the next hour telling you why we think WKCTC is a great place to start your educational journey, but sometimes it's even more meaningful to hear from someone who's actually lived it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, you're going to meet one of our former students, Joan, as she shares her personal story about returning to college, overcoming challenges, and how her decision has changed her life. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC Livestream. Before we dive into tonight's topics, I would like to start with a story. One of the most encouraging perspectives comes from someone who's already been in your shoes. Maybe they've put off college on hold while life happened. Maybe they've questioned whether they could balance school with work and family, or simply wondered if now was the right time to take that next step. Joining us now is WKCTC alumna Joan McLeod-Philbee, who is here to share her personal story and how her experience at WKCTC helped shape the next chapter of her life. Welcome, Joan.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Hi, Mary. Good evening, everyone. Well, my name is Joan, and I am a family support specialist with the Department of Community-Based Services. Day to day, I interview clients, gather information and documentation to determine clients' eligibility for public assistance benefits.
Okay, great,
Yes.
great. Well, Joan, I want to ask you a few questions tonight.
Okay.
And I think one of the first questions I want to ask is, why did you choose WKCTC?
Okay. My reason for attending WKCTC is from the many recommendations, I should say, that I receive from persons, from other students who attended college here at WKCTC. They spoke about the top quality education. They spoke about the affordability. They spoke about the flexibility. And I came here, and all that they told me was true and is true. And I came through the doors of West Kentucky Community and Technical College in the fall of 2022, and I never looked back.
I think that's great. Thank you for that. So, if there's a potential student out there listening or watching, what would you tell a potential student about attending WKCTC?
I would say it's one of the best and smartest decisions that you could have ever made in your life. It brings success. And of course, that is what you want. You want to feel successful and to be successful in life. So I would say, go for it. There is affordable education, the flexibility. They have there is day, evening, and hybrid schedule. So flexible schedule, and the instructors, the advisors, everyone is so courteous. You are never alone. You will never feel alone. You will be challenged. You will realize that you are in the right place and that you made the right decision. So I would say go for it, and you will not regret it. That much I can say. You will not regret it, because I have not regretted it, and I would do it all over again. Yes.
I love that. And is there a specific piece of advice that you might tell to anyone watching tonight?
Yes. I would say, because allow me to back up a bit.
Sure.
When I made the decision to attend, I was told that I was too old. But I'm saying to you out there, you're never too old. And it's never too late for you to attend college. So if you have the desire to, do not let anyone stop you. Go right ahead and sign up, enroll, and achieve your goal.
And you can do it.
And you can do it, because I have done it. I'm living testimony sitting here today.
Thank you so much, Joan. It is always such a pleasure to see you and talk to you about your experience here.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I hope everyone watching can see a little bit of themselves in Joan's journey. Whether you're thinking about college, maybe you've been thinking about it for months or even years, the hardest part is often taking that first step. And as Joan has reminded us, you don't have to do it alone. One of the first questions that people ask when they're deciding to go back to school is often a practical one. How am I going to pay for this? So we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to talk about scholarships, financial aid, grants, and other resources that can make a college education much more affordable than many people realize. Welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. If you're just joining us, welcome. We are so glad that you're here. And remember, this live stream is for you. So if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask it in the comments. Chances are, if you're wondering about something, someone else who's watching is too. Our team is answering questions live through the evening. So get those questions in. We're really excited to get those answered for you. And also, if you haven't already, there is a short form that is linked in the comments. So be sure to fill that out for your chance to be entered into our prize drawing. You're going to have the chance to win a $500 scholarship for the fall semester, along with some Apple AirPods and a $50 gas card. We're going to be drawing those winners live at the end of tonight's stream. So one of you watching is going to win those prizes. So if paying for college has ever made you hesitate, you are definitely not alone. In fact, it's probably the #1 concern that we hear from prospective students. The good news is the sticker price isn't always necessarily what students pay. Scholarships, grants, federal student aid, work-study opportunities, and payment plans can make college much more affordable than many people realize. Joining us now is Meghan Ramsdell from our financial aid office. Welcome to you, Meghan.
Thanks, Mary Beth. I'm excited to be here.
Great.
I'm Meghan Ramsdell. I am a financial aid advisor. I have been with the WKCTC Financial Aid Office for 10 years now.
Great.
I am very hands-on with our students. I help our students fill out their FAFSA applications. I help them complete any supporting documentation that they need to turn in, or really help them understand what exactly financial aid is, and we're always there to help them every step of the way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. So I do have a few questions that I want to ask you tonight. So if someone is thinking about coming to WKCTC, what is the first step that they should take to apply for financial aid?
I would say the first step for any incoming student is to complete the FAFSA, and that's through studentaid.gov. The process usually only takes about 20 to 30 minutes unless you already have a username and a password. Over the last couple years, FAFSA has created a simplification process because roughly about 10 years ago, the FAFSA took a long time. And now the FAFSA gives students the option to select their tax information to be transferred from the IRS, and that time shortens it significantly, because I do know that a lot of students are nervous or scared to come back to school because they don't know where their tax information is, or
Sure.
they don't know how to fill out the FAFSA. But I will say that our office is open and available to all students. You can come into our office, we can help you fill out the FAFSA, you can call us, we can sit with you, email. We are very one-on-one with our students, so because the process can be very scary in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
yes.
You know, and another thing that I think can sometimes be scary is in education, you know, we tend to talk in acronyms, right? We tend to talk in letters and things that we know what we're talking about, but not everybody does.
Yes.
So could you just explain just real quickly, what is FAFSA? What does that mean and what does that stand for?
Yes, the FAFSA is the Federal Aid Student.
I put you on the
You
spot.
did. Federal Student Aid application, and it's just a one-time application for the year, and it's where students input all of their information, their tax information. It helps our office determine what they're qualifying for.
Great.
Students, honestly, if they fill out the FAFSA, they would be surprised at how much they do qualify to come back to school.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's so important. So my next question is, many adults assume that they won't qualify because they work full-time or have been out of school for several years. Is that true?
That is a very common misconception. Even though you've been out of school 5, 10, 15 years, or if you do work full-time, that doesn't automatically disqualify you from financial aid. Of course, always fill out your FAFSA and let us guide you step by step in the process. I was an adult student when I first started here. I came here in 2016 and I had little children and I was scared, and I had an amazing process with the financial aid office, advising and everything. And I was able to graduate with 2 degrees from WKCTC. So I highly recommend all of our adult students to do it, because you honestly don't know what we have to offer unless you try.
I think that I'm really glad that you said that, because there are so many of our employees who are alumni.
Yes.
And I think that that really speaks to the amount of love and respect and help that students get here, you know, that people want to come back and work here to help other students.
I started off as a work study. I became a part-time worker, and then now I'm full-time and I haven't left.
I love that.
It's probably one of the best colleges we do have.
I think that that's fantastic. So let me ask you this. What happens if someone misses the priority deadline to apply? Should they still complete, or is there anything that they can still complete? Can they still get financial aid if they miss the deadline?
So the priority deadline is, I would say it's mostly for the financial aid office. It's for us to complete their student accounts, get their financial aid on there before the first day of school. It's never too late to apply for FAFSA. Even if, you know, it's 2 weeks before classes start, always fill out the FAFSA. Contact us by email, phone, come into the office, and we will work with you step by step. It can be scary in the beginning, but we're always here to help them. But yes, always fill out your FAFSA.
Okay, great. So sometimes students are asked to provide additional documents after submitting their application. So can you explain what additional documents they might need to submit and what that process might look like?
Yes, so when a student is requested for supporting documentation, it's not because they did anything wrong. It's just for us to verify what they put on their FAFSA. A few of the documentation might be if a student didn't file for taxes, and the office just needs a verification form saying, yes, I did, that wasn't a mistake on my FAFSA, I did not file. Or just an identity statement where you just come down to the office, you give us a copy of your ID, and we verify that, you know, you are a WKCTC student. It's a very simple process. It's nothing that the student did wrong, and you do have plenty of employees here that can help them along the way.
Fantastic, great, thank you. And then something I hear a lot is, can financial aid help to cover expenses that are beyond tuition, so maybe books or supplies?
Of course, yes. So WKCTC's tuition it's a blessing to a lot of our students, and a lot of our students do have extra money left over. After tuition and fees, if the student has any more funds remaining, they can use it for books, supplies, anything that they need for their educational expenses. One thing that WKCTC does have on campus, we do have a bookstore here, and our students are allowed to go to our bookstore 10 days before their classes start and charge to the financial aid with those remaining funds. So that way they're prepared before the first day of class.
Sure. And I also know personally that if you need a cap and gown for graduation, that you can use your financial aid money as well.
Yes, ma'am. That's a relief to a lot of our students.
Yes, for sure. So before we move on, I've got one last question for you.
Okay.
And that would be, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who's listening or nervous about paying for college, what would that piece of advice be?
Don't let the cost of college stop you from applying. When you fill out the FAFSA application or any other scholarship applications that we help you with whenever you come into the office, you really would be surprised at how much you could qualify for. Working parents, full-time employee, there's a significant amount of options for students.
Fantastic. Well, Meghan, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time and your expertise.
I was happy to be here.
So Meghan is going to be stepping out and we're going to bring other people in, but I don't want that to discourage you because she's still going to be here. So if you're watching later or if you have another question about financial aid, please type that into the comments and we'll be happy to bring Meghan back and to answer those questions. And I think one of the biggest takeaways from our conversation is that you shouldn't assume that college is out of reach until you've explored all of our options. So from scholarships and grants to financial aid and payment plans, there are so many resources available to help students invest in their future. Now then, once you've made that decision to go to college, sometimes the next question is usually, where do I begin? So we're going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll walk through the enrollment process and show you just how easy it is to get started at WKCTC. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC Livestream. Making the decision to go back to college is an exciting first step, but it's completely normal to have questions about what comes next. The good news is you don't have to have it all figured out on your own. Our enrollment services team is here to guide you through every step of the process, from completing your admissions application to getting registered and ready for your first day of class. To help walk us through that process, I would like to welcome Tammy Maines, Dean of Enrollment Services. Hey Tammy, how's it going?
It's great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great.
As as you said, my name is Tammy, Dean of Enrollment here at West Kentucky. I take care of admissions, enrollment, records, so we can pretty much get you started and get you through the process and ready to hand over to our advising office.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again for being here. So I think that we have a question from the chat. So we're going to go over to Lindsay, and Lindsay is going to ask that question from the chat for you, Tammy.
Okay.
Facebook said, my daughter is a senior at McLeod County High School. Is it true that she can go to WKCTC for free?
Absolutely. With any of our McLeod County schools, we have a community scholarship program with them. It is a last dollar scholarship, so if they do not qualify for financial aid or have any tuition left, then the scholarship will pick up and cover. It covers all tuition. So absolutely.
Can you explain what a last dollar scholarship means?
Yes. So if they receive financial aid, but it isn't for the full amount, if there is tuition that's left over, the scholarship would come in and pay for that tuition amount.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I want to take this opportunity. We just had that question from the chat. And Lindsay will pop in and bring those questions to our attention. So I want to put that out there again. If you do have questions for any of our experts who are here tonight, please ask those questions. So Tammy, I do have a list of questions prepared for you that I want to ask. And these are questions that we hear so often from potential students. So what are some of the biggest concerns that people share with you when they first contact WKCTC?
A lot of times people are scared. They're afraid that they're not going to be successful. They're afraid it's going to be too hard, or the class schedule isn't going to fit, or they just can't do it. So the big thing is I would want everyone to know that we're here every step of the way to help them. Make that first phone call, step in the doors, and we're right here to help them.
I love that. I feel like everybody always says that. We're here to help you, or, just come talk to us.
Yeah.
And I really hope that that's a takeaway from anybody listening tonight.
Yes.
So if someone tonight is watching and they decide that they want to come back to school, what's the very first step that they should take?
They can actually do their application in their FAFSA at home if they want to, from the comfort of their house, if that's less intimidating for them. But they can come into our office. We're in the Anderson building in room 113. Our phone number is the 270-534-3435. They could call, schedule a meeting with us if they would prefer to do that, if they're on a lunch break or something. And we can talk them through that process and help them get their application done, and any kind of needed documents. We would make sure that they had access to know how to do those.
Okay, so if they did want to apply online, when they go to the website, and correct me if I'm wrong, when they go to the website, there's a button at the top that says apply now, and
Yeah.
that's where they need to go.
On the top right, it says apply.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. So one question that I hear a lot is from people who maybe attended college years ago and they never finished, but they want to come back. So did those people have to start all over completely?
Not necessarily. If they have switched programs, then some of theirs may not transfer into the new program. But if they are going into the same program, then it's very likely a lot of their credits will count toward their new degree.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great
Saves
news.
a lot of money, it's a lot of time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another thing that we hear so much is, we have people out there who are balancing careers and raising their children, caring for a family member, and they've just got life going on. I mean, that happens to everybody. So can our students attend part-time or take online classes if they have those busy schedules?
Absolutely. We offer a lot of our classes are online as well as in person or hybrid. We have the flexible start date, so we will start on August the 17th, and then we will start again on October 12th. And we offer days, we offer afternoons. You could come Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. Very, very, very flexible schedule for the adult population.
Okay, and I heard you say in person and I heard you say online. The third thing you said was hybrid. So can you explain sort of what a hybrid class might look like?
Sure, it may be a class that meets 2 days a week, but one day is only, the one day is in person and the other one is online.
Okay,
So
great.
kind of a mix between the two.
Very cool. Okay, so sometimes we have students who come to campus and they know they want to get started, but they're not exactly sure what their career path might look like or what program they want to study. So how can you help someone who's interested in college, but they're not quite sure what program's right for them?
Well, we have a program finder that is on the website that if someone is really no idea, then that might be a good place for them to start. But when they come to us, we have over 30 associate degree programs. We have the transfer programs. We have short-term, long-term certificates, diplomas. So we can get them started on just about anything that they would be interested in doing.
And we have so many options.
I know, it's amazing.
It really is. So finally, Tammy, before you go, I want to ask, what is one thing that you wish every prospective student knew before they applied?
That it's a whole lot less scary once you walk in the doors for the very first time. It really does. Just walking in is the hardest step. But every one of us, several of us have been here for many years, but we're eager to meet the students. We're eager to meet them where they are. So we're not going to put them in classes that they're not prepared for, and really want them to be successful.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Tammy, for being with us.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us. Thank you.
So I hope that the one thing that everybody took away from this conversation is that getting started does not have to be overwhelming. Our enrollment services team is here to make the process as simple and stress-free as possible. So once you've applied and registered for classes, the next step is making a plan for success. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about how to make that plan and about one of the most valuable resources available to every student, academic advising.
Hi everyone, Victor from Facebook asked, what advice would you give a new student starting this semester?
The best advice would be give us a call, come and see us. We would love to give you a quick tour so you could actually walk around and see where your classes are before the first day of class. I would suggest getting a really good planner and outlining your schedule so that you would know those important dates as soon as you have them with your syllabi, and just have fun with it. Just have fun. We want you to really get involved in campus life and we would encourage you to do so.
Okay, guys, so welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. Every student arrives at WKCTC with a different goal. So no matter what your path looks like, having someone to help you navigate that journey can make all the difference. And that's where academic advising comes in. Joining us now is Amanda Scheidegger from our Advising Center. Hey, Amanda, how's it going?
Hi, Mary Beth. I'm happy to be here tonight. You look great.
You look great.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm so glad that
That's such good taste.
I'm so glad that you got the memo.
I know.
Nobody
right?
else
I
did.
did steal this idea from you. I'm just saying. Okay.
I love it. So how's it going?
Great. So I'm Amanda Scheidegger, and I'm the Director of Advising at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. At West Kentucky, we have academic advisors full-time in our advising center. We help new, returning, and even existing students, but we also have faculty advisors on campus. And our faculty advisors help, like if somebody wants to do welding or maybe nursing or one of those programs, they are assigned a faculty advisor after they're here already. So we help them when they're brand new, and then we pass them off to that faculty advisor. So advising is a campus-wide thing that we all are involved in.
Okay, great. I love that. I love that intro. So call out to you guys watching. This is a great opportunity for you to ask some questions for Amanda. I do have some questions here that I'll be asking, but we will answer your questions live if you have anything for Amanda or anyone else who has been on screen so far. So just a reminder, guys. So Amanda, I think one of the biggest concerns that we hear from prospective students, and especially adult students, is that it's been a really long time since they've attended school. So how do you help students who may be feeling nervous about coming back to college after many years away?
The great part about academic advising is that it is not just making a schedule. We talk to our students, we ask them questions. We want to know why they're coming back to college, because everybody has a why. For our adult students, a lot of times it's because they want a better life for themselves, their kids, their families, whatever they might be. They want to earn more money, give their kids stuff that they never had. And so we talk to them, ask them those questions, make them feel comfortable, let them know that college is not cookie cutter. We're going to make their schedule and everything to their needs. So if they need 2 days a week, if they need online, we're here to support them through that.
I love that. And I love that, we're not just sending students into something that they may not be acclimated for.
Right.
I love that so much. So once a student has applied, we just talked to Tammy about the application process. Can you tell us a little bit about what the advising process looks like and how students actually get registered for the classes?
Yeah, so I hinted a little bit about that in my intro, but when a new student comes, or if they're a returning student, because we have a lot of students that have had to stop attending for many reasons. Life happens, and maybe they want to come back. But after they've done that application, sent in any transcripts they need to, anything like that, they come and talk to an advisor in the advising center. And again, we ask them those questions. We talk to them about what they want to do. We try to make it as easy as possible. We can see people in person in our office, but we also do virtual advising. So if somebody can't get away or they live really far away, Fulton is a drive. It takes a little bit to get here. And so we'll do an online meeting where we talk to them about everything that they need, answer all their questions, get them in the classes that they need and want, and really just tailor everything to the specific student.
Man, I love that that's an option, the virtual advising, because you're so right. Our service area is so vast.
It is.
And sometimes it's hard to get over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So not everybody who starts college knows exactly what career they want to pursue. So how can we help students know what to study while they're still exploring their options?
So Tammy hinted a little bit about this. We have a program finder on our website. I would encourage any student to look through that, really look through the programs. Those pages are great because it explains a little bit about what that career does. There's some videos and things like that. It also talks about job outlook, median pay for the state of Kentucky, stuff like that. But also that's why we're trained advisors, because we can talk to students about any program that we have here on campus. So if I have a student who is interested maybe in business, maybe in cosmetology, you know, I can talk to them about the differences in those and what's going to work for them at this point in their life. Cosmetology is something where they have to be in person 4 days a week for 4 semesters. Business is more flexible where they can do the majority or all of the program online if they need to. And maybe down the road, you know, if they can't do in person now, they can't do that cosmetology now, they can come back and do that at a later time. A lot of people, a lot of people want to open their own business, but they want to be a cosmetologist. And so
Sure.
we have, you know, options for them to do both of those things.
Sure, I love that. So I'm going to take just a quick break from Amanda. So I think that we have a question from the chat. So I'm going to go over to Lindsay to ask that question.
Hi, Kate from YouTube asked, can a part-time student get financial aid?
Thank you for that question. Yes, a part-time student can receive financial aid. Financial aid is based off of credit hour. You do not have to be full-time to receive financial aid. First step is to fill out your FAFSA, and then of course you can contact our office and we can go over any awards that you may receive. Our contact number is 270-534-3425. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lindsay, for bringing that question, and thank you, Meghan, for answering. And that's a great reminder, guys. If you do have any questions, we have like a dozen experts here tonight from across campus who can answer any specific question that you have. So it's a great opportunity for you to get your questions answered, and we would love to talk to you. So, Amanda, a lot of students plan to continue their education after WKCTC. So how does your office help students prepare if they want to transfer to a four-year university?
That's a great question. We have a lot of students who want to do that. They want to come to West Kentucky the first couple of years for a multitude of reasons, maybe because it's close to home, it's affordable, they're not quite ready to leave, you know, mom and dad yet, whatever the reason might be. But we have a transfer coordinator in the advising center. Her name is Deanna Shelley. She is wonderful. She works with our four-year transfer partners, whether that be Murray State, UK, and the state of Kentucky, but also some of our out-of-state partners like SIU, UT Martin, those kinds of things. And she will look on their websites, go to their catalog, see what a student needs. So if they want to do an Associate of Arts with us and then transfer to Murray State for elementary education, she has a plan. She makes that plan, and it's accessible to the students and faculty and staff on our intranet. And in MyPath, students can go to MyPath to see that. But that takes guesswork out of it, so students can see, oh, Murray wants me to have these particular classes. You know, they want me to have college algebra instead of a different math, or they want me to have economics instead of a different social science. And that really takes the guesswork out of it for students. So Deanna is remarkable in that regard. We also have transfer fairs on campus. We have one in the fall and in the spring where we invite four-year partners from across the state and out of state to come and be available to talk to our students who want to transfer. So if you think you want to transfer, but maybe you're not sure where yet, you can talk to different people, get ideas on where you might want to go, talk to them about scholarships, because when people have been here, they are concerned about what scholarships they might get when they transfer on. So that's a really good opportunity for them to talk to those colleges. And then we do just have some regular transfer visits too, just some, you know, Murray State is here a lot on our campus just because they are so close to us. But we'll have other colleges come to campus and we'll advertise that for our students, like in our digest or on the TVs on campus, which marketing helps us out with. Thank you so much. And that way they know that somebody's from UK is here and I can go talk to them and they can answer any questions that I might have.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe put you on the spot for a second because I have a question as you're talking about this stuff. So if I'm a student who wants to come here and get my first 2 years, and then maybe I wanna transfer to a college somewhere across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, can you guys help that student try to figure out that pathway?
It's a little different when it comes to out of state like that, just because we know KCTCS West Kentucky classes will transfer in state. When it comes to out of state, it's a little iffier, you know, as far as accreditation and things like that. However, we'll still talk to a student who maybe wants to go to Georgia. And we'll say to them, help them look up the website, get contact information for somebody at that school. We really want to empower the students to kind of, but we'll help them.
Sure.
So we give them that contact information so that they can reach out, and then they can come back to us and say, okay, they said I need these classes, and we can, look and see, make sure that's going to fit in their plan here, or if we need to change things around, change a plan or anything like that.
Okay, cool. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay.
That was just kind of a question that I thought of
Yeah.
and I'd never really thought about
Yeah.
before. So I'm being told that we do have a question for Amanda
Okay.
from the chat. So we're going to go over to Lindsay, and Lindsay's going to ask that question.
Hi everyone. Zachariah asked, if you've been out of high school for several years and have sent in your high school transcripts, are there any additional steps that need to be completed prior to enrollment?
Great question.
That's a great question. Thank you so much. So we require placement testing if you've been out of school for so long. We can place students based on their high school GPA, but honestly, if it's been quite a while, we would encourage them to take our placement test, which is called Ed Ready, just to make sure they're where they're at. We want to put them in classes that they're going to be successful in. So if it's been a long time, because listen, Mary Beth, I was wonderful in math when I was in high school, okay?
Congratulations.
I know, right? I made A's and stuff like that. If I tried to go back to college now, even though I have my degree and everything, it's been a minute since I've had a math class. I couldn't do that successfully. Anyway, we just want to make sure students are in classes that are right for them. They might need a little bit more support. They might need a workshop or something like that. So we would encourage them to take our placement test.
Yes. And I hope that everybody's listening to us joke, because, I mean, that's so real.
Yeah.
And we can definitely empathize with a student who may need that extra
Yes.
help when it comes to math or something. So we get it. We totally get it. So the last question that I have for you, Amanda, is that technology has just become such an important part of education today. And if someone's been out of school for a long time, that education or new technology might be a little bit daunting. So are there resources available if someone needs a little bit more help with access or just help in general with technology?
Yes, that's a great question. So we have a tech hub on campus, and it's located in our Matheson Learning Resource Center. They can help students if they're having issues with their student account. So I mentioned MyPath a little bit earlier. That's the student account where they can access their Blackboard, which is our online learning platform, their student email, and the student self-service, which is like their portal to get in and see grades and that kind of thing. And so if they're having trouble with that, our tech hub can help. They can help in person, over the phone. Also, if you have a certain type of computer, like a MacBook, which are great. Those are great computers. And if you already have one, wonderful. Don't go out and buy something different. We can help you. But they have like .pages files
Yes.
instead of .docx, and Blackboard doesn't read it, so it's blank when instructors go to open an assignment. So the Tech Hub can help convert that to the appropriate file.
Yeah.
So yes, our Tech Hub can help with all kinds of stuff.
Fantastic. Amanda, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time and your expertise, for sure.
You're welcome.
So I hope that our viewers leave this conversation knowing that no one has to navigate college alone. So from your very first advising appointment through graduation, there are people here to answer questions, help you stay on track, and support you every step of the way. So as you move through the enrollment process, you'll also have questions about tuition, billing, payment deadlines, and other important financial details. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll visit with someone who helps students understand exactly what to expect when it comes to paying their tuition and managing their student account. Welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. One of the questions we hear from students is, once I've enrolled, what happens next when it comes to tuition and paying my bill? While financial aid helps students explore ways to pay for college, our business office helps make sure they understand their tuition, payment options, important details, and the resources available to keep them on track. It's all part of making the college experience as smooth and stress-free as possible. Joining us now is Jessica West from our business office. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Mary Beth, how are you?
Good, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, and thank you. That is exactly what we're trying to do. I am Jessica West, and I'm from our business office, and what our team really wants to do is take the guesswork, take that confusing part of tuition and make it understandable. So we want to take the financial aid scholarships and really show a student how those are applying to their account, how they're paying for their tuition, their fees, books, and supplies and materials. We also, in our office, handle the scholarships. If you have an outside scholarship, you'll bring it to our office. If you have an employer paying for your tuition, if you have a scholarship, you got that great yellow envelope in the mail. A lot of students did for their PJC scholarships. Our office handles that and helps students really to understand how that's applied to their account as well. So we're really there just to help the student understand everything that comes along with their financial accounts.
Great, perfect. So I have a few questions for you tonight.
Okay.
So the first one is, you know, if a student has a balance and they're wondering about how to pay that, does a student have to pay like a full balance all at once, or are they able to make monthly payments?
The great thing about our partnership with Nelnet is the student is able to have a monthly payment. So up until this Friday, so if students are looking to get enrolled and they want to get enrolled this week, they hear this, they're getting inspired, there's still opportunity to enroll in that payment plan with no money down. And then they would divide that into 4 monthly payments starting in August. So they would really get a chance to get their financials in order before that first payment comes out. They still can apply for that payment plan after this Friday, but at that point they would have 25% down, which would be that August payment. So really, it just doesn't change anything other than that August payment comes out a little early, and then they would have September, October, and November payments as well. So it really is a great opportunity to divide the tuition.
So let's reiterate that
Yes.
just a little bit. So you said that Friday is the deadline, and repeat that one more time.
Yes. So Friday is the deadline to sign up for the Nelnet payment plan with nothing down.
Great.
You will pay a $30 non-refundable fee, but that's the only thing that you pay until August the 20th. So August 20th will be your first payment. So that gives you a really good opportunity to know what the cost is, know what that monthly payment is, and really to get that saved up and be ready for that first payment. After Friday, you can still sign up for it, and we still encourage you to. It would just be that you, at that point, would pay the August payment when you sign up, and would then still have 3 more payments throughout the semester.
Great, fantastic. So does it cost anything to set up this payment plan?
It does cost, it's a $30 non-refundable fee, but there are, really importantly, there's no interest, there's no additional fees that go with it. It's not a loan. You're not getting charged anything extra. It is very transparent. What's on your account for your tuition, your fees is exactly what you're paying. You're not getting anything extra, and you can actually match it up between your student account and the Nelnet account and see exactly what you're paying.
Great.
So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break from you. It looks like that we have a question from the chat, so I'm going to go over to Lindsay to ask that question.
Hi, Laura from Facebook asked, how do you help your students find jobs after graduation?
That's a great question. As you're working through your program to get your degree, diploma, or certificate, you're going to develop a professional relationship with your program coordinator or area coordinator. And after graduation, if you do not have a job and you're still looking, you can email your program or area coordinator to help you find openings that they're aware of. But most of the time through the program, the advisory committee is working with local business and industry to be aware of the jobs that are out there. And a lot of our students find positions before they graduate, and they already have those lined up due to those partnerships with industry here locally.
And Laura asked a follow-up question, and that was, what makes you different from other colleges for students looking to develop job skills and opportunities?
There's several ways WKCTC is different than other colleges. We have several programs in applied technologies and across the college also that you can earn a certificate that's and complete it in as little as 8 weeks. It's a great way to upskill for your job that you currently have, or maybe you just need to refresh some skills that you might have not used in a couple of years. And those are great options for job training. We also have our labs. Our students work in labs with industry equipment from the beginning. There's not a lot of sitting in lecture time waiting to learn lab skills. They're already learning those. And we work with industry partners to make sure that we're teaching what you need to know here locally and statewide. So that's a great opportunity for jobs. And the industry partners, they're well aware of what our programs do, and we receive phone calls lots of times looking for employees. So they're going to be looking for you if you graduate from one of our programs.
So thank you so much, Lindsay, for bringing that question. And thank you so much to Deidre for answering the question. We appreciate that. So I'm going to go back to Jessica. So Jessica, this is a question that I feel like a lot of people have if they've been to college in the past and maybe didn't finish it. So if somebody has an old balance and maybe a financial aid hold, are there options for that student to come back to school?
There really are. We are always looking for ways to help our students. One of the things that our office really understands is that life happens. We all have jobs and families, and things that come up that stop us from completing a semester may have caused some financial, what we call a barrier, a financial obligation that's sitting out there on the student's account. So we really have two opportunities for students. We have what we call a nil-net past due payment plan. It's that same payment plan that we have for our current students, except for it is, again, no interest, no additional fees other than a one-time payment. And it divides it up into almost 12 months. You can do all the way up to a year to get that balance paid off. And once you get down to a certain point, we can get the financial hold removed and get you back in classes. Our second opportunity is a really great opportunity. We call it the WKCTC Student Debt Payback Program. And what this does is lets a student who maybe just had a tough semester, is ready to get back to it, and they would put an application in. There's a spot on our website to apply for it. And what they're doing is earning scholarship money. So instead of paying out of pocket, you come back to school, you get enrolled, you get a C or better in your class, you stay enrolled, so you're really getting back on track, and you are earning that money to pay back your debt.
That's cool.
So yes.
That's very cool. I love that. Very nice. So once a student has enrolled and they've got their classes and they're coming to college, they might need a parking permit. Is that right?
That is correct. So if you are going to be a face-to-face and an on-campus student, then our parking permits are $25 per semester. You would order them online, and through that, we would mail it to your address. So you don't even have to come up to campus to pick it up. You can go ahead and get it ordered so you're ready for the first day of classes. If you want to come into our office, we're in the Anderson building in room 127, and you can come in there. If you want to use your financial aid, I think Meghan talked earlier about that financial aid and what you could use that for in the bookstore or for books and materials. You can also use that for your parking permit.
Okay.
So you could get that $25 straight from your financial aid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, the parking permit is like a tangible thing. Is there
Yes.
anything else like a student needs to bring with them on their first day of class, for example? Anything else?
Well, for us, it might be important, especially if they're going to stop at the bookstore to get their books, they're going to want to bring their schedule. Okay. So when they come up to Anderson and they're doing all of the prior to the first day of classes, you can go to the bookstore, you're going to bring your schedule so they can give you all the required material list and make sure you have everything. In our office, the only other thing I would say is that a lot of times students don't know what we call their student ID number. And that number is really important because if you're in the financial aid office, advising, business office, that's what identifies you. We can look you up other ways, but I always encourage students to know what that ID number is.
Okay,
So, yeah.
great. So we do have another question from the chat, but I only have one question left for you, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it.
Sure.
And this is about the Adult Promise Scholarship, which I feel like is such a treasure that a lot of people may not know about. So can you talk a little bit about the Adult Promise Scholarship and how someone might qualify?
Of course, yes. We're very excited. The Adult Promise Scholarship are for students who are going to be 25 by August 1st. So at this point, they'd be 25 years old or older, haven't been to class since 2020. So maybe they had something that stopped them out, or maybe they've never began and they think this is the time. This scholarship is for those students. So it is what we call the last dollar scholarship, where you would have to apply for that FAFSA, and then once we get that financial aid package, we find out if you have a financial need. If you do that, scholarship will take tuition, fees, if you have any ebooks, any of that on your account, it pays for all of it for up to 2 semesters, so up to 30 credit hours, to really get the student either back on track and maybe even complete. If you were about halfway through your degree, this could really get you to complete your degree right with that scholarship paying for everything. And if you're starting out, this gets you that first year to really get going in your program.
Gosh, that's
So, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So if anybody had any questions about that scholarship, could they contact the business office?
They can contact the business office or enrollment services. We also have on our website, we have the information that gives you exactly how you qualify. One of the great things about this is it's not an application. You don't need to fill that out. You really just need to do your application for admissions, the FAFSA, and then really contact the business office and let us know, hey, I think I qualify for this scholarship, so we can get you started.
That's great.
So yeah,
Thank you so much, Jessica, for being with us tonight. I really appreciate it.
thank you, Mary Beth.
So I'm going to go over to Lindsay. I believe we do have a question from the comment. Lindsay, take it away.
Hey everyone, Catherine from Facebook asked, how do you help students who are the first in their families to attend college?
Thank you. That is such a great question. So we have all kinds of supports here at WKCTC. We have non-academic and academic supports. The Student Success Center and the Tech Hub are great resources for first-generation college students. And then I also help with the Get Help form. So that is a resource for any student, but specifically first-generation students. I can assist with things like transportation, gas, food. So there are all kinds of supports for first-generation college students or any college student.
Lindsay, for that question, and thank you so much to Sydney for the answer. And I also want to thank Jessica, who was just with us. And I think that these conversations are really clearing up some of the questions that students often have about tuition and billing and payment options. And understanding how all of those pieces fit together can start making college feel much more manageable. Of course, enrolling and paying for college are just the beginning. The next step is deciding what you actually want to study and exploring the many career paths available at WKCTC. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll begin visiting with the leaders of our academic divisions to learn more about the exciting programs they offer. Welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. We've covered a lot of great information tonight, and there is still more to come. If a question has popped into your mind, now is the perfect time to ask. Our team is here and ready to answer your questions live. So whether you're curious about enrolling, financial aid, programs of study, or anything else related to WKCTC, we have about a dozen people here in the studio tonight ready to answer those questions. And don't miss your opportunity to enter for our giveaway. Simply complete the short form that's linked in the comments for your chance to win a $500 scholarship for the fall semester. We're also going to be giving away a $50 gas card and a pair of Apple AirPods. And we're going to be drawing the winners live tonight at the end of tonight's stream. So those of you watching, you guys are the ones that has the opportunity to win. So choosing a college is important, but choosing the right program is just as important. And one of the things that makes WKCTC unique is the wide variety of career pathways available. Healthcare continues to be one of the fastest growing industries in our region and across the country. So from nurses to radiographers to surgical technologists, there's an ongoing need for skilled, compassionate people who want to make a difference in the lives of others. So if you've ever considered a career in healthcare, this is a great conversation to tune into. Joining me now is Christy Pettit, who is our Dean of Health Sciences, to tell us more about the many programs offered here at WKCTC. Hey, Christy.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you.
So my name is Christy Pettit. I am the Dean of Health Sciences. So within our division, it's all the health programs. So I'm happy to say that our grads are a huge proportion of the workforce in our region. And if I can take just a second, let me list the 11 programs that we have.
Please.
I'm gonna count on my fingers, here we go. So we've got Associate Degree Nursing, which is RN, Practical Nursing, Nursing Assistant, Dental Assisting, Medical Information Technology, Health Science Technology, Surgical Technology, Medical Lab Technician, Radiography, Sonography, and Physical Therapist Assistant.
That was very impressive, by
There
the
you
way. Thank you so much. So, Christy, the first question that I want to ask, and it may be something that several students have heard about if they're interested in our healthcare programs, is selective admissions. So can you explain what selective admissions means and what programs have selective admissions?
Okay, so of the 11 programs that we have, 8 are selective admissions, and selective admissions means that it is based on a point system. We have quite a few applicants that apply for the programs, but we have limited spots, and sometimes those spots are limited due to just the size of our labs, but also clinical spots in our region. So the selective admission points are based on a variety of things. Usually your GPA or your grade point average. You get points for A's and B's, of course. And then, so again, it's based on a point system, so you want to get as many points as possible to be one of those selected.
Sure, sure. So can I put you on the spot and ask you a question about selective admissions? Okay. So I hear you that some of the selective admission points come from grades. What about the longevity of maybe somebody has tried to get into a program over a certain number of semesters? Does that help you at all?
Well, every cohort's different.
Sure.
So at admission, again, we have some selective or some tests that, especially nursing, they have some admission exams to get in. So with each admission cycle, you can retake those tests and get higher points.
Okay.
So yeah, but every admission cohort is different.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is don't give up.
Don't give up.
If you don't make it in the first time, that doesn't mean that.
Absolutely. That we have so many students that try and try again, or they may try a different program and they get in.
Okay, great. So you might, some students out there might have also heard about information sessions. So can you talk about what information sessions are, and does that relate to selective admissions at all?
Okay, absolutely. Information sessions are informative meetings where anyone who is interested in any of the programs can come and listen. So just to get information. So the program coordinators usually talk about what are the prerequisites to get in, what are what's the admission criteria, just all the things that are needed for admission into the program. And so they can ask questions then. And in fact, at many of the information sessions, they actually fill out the application then.
But again, you can come, you can attend as many information sessions to like radiography. Maybe you want to get information on surgery tech. Maybe you want to get information on nursing. So you can go to as many as you want to. And then if you want to fill out an application, you can. And if you don't want to, you don't have to.
And I wouldn't have to be applied to college. I could just come in off the street to go to an information
Absolutely,
session.
because that way you know what classes you need to take and what need to sign up for.
Okay. And also, just a side note, if you follow our Facebook page, we do post some of those information session dates. So if you're following us there, you can find out what those dates are and where those information sessions are located. So, Christy, what can someone do to increase their chances of getting into a program that they apply for? You mentioned those tests and maybe retaking those. Is there anything else that a student might be able to do?
So again, you want to strive for those A's and B's because that's going to increase your grade point average, which you get points for. You also get extra additional points for A's and B's in your science and your math classes. And you can actually we encourage students to actually retake classes if they get C's. C's passing, but sometimes C's don't get you additional points to get in.
Sure,
Yes.
sure, that makes sense. So some potential students out there might have heard the word clinicals. So can you explain what clinicals are and are they requirements?
So clinicals are requirements of just, I think, every single program.
Okay.
So there's, they have to, again, some of the things that students have to have, they have to pass a drug screen, background check, and those are, again, from our agencies that they have rules. So if you don't pass a drug screen or background check, then you're not allowed to go into the clinical setting. But clinicals are the lab component. It's when you apply your knowledge for what you learn in the classroom. And then you go to the clinics, you go to the hospitals, and you apply what you have learned. So, yeah. That's all I have for
Wonderful.
you. Yeah, sorry.
So before I let you go, Christy, is there anything else that you would like anybody out there listening to know about health sciences or any of the programs within health sciences?
All of our programs, again, you can get certificates, you can get diplomas, you can get degrees. We have one online program. So, because a lot of people, that's a question that we get, is how many programs are online? Well, we only have one, and that is medical information technology. It's a little bit of business and a little bit of healthcare. So we have like medical coding, administrative track, and within that degree, you can get, or within that track, you can get diplomas or a degree. But for the most part, everything is in person, but the gen eds, or general education credits, you can take those online.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Christy, for being with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you're still watching and if you tune in later, Christy will be with us for the remainder of the stream. So if you have any questions, be sure to put those into the chat. You know, healthcare offers so many rewarding opportunities, and it's so exciting to hear about the different paths that students can take to make a real difference in the lives of others. But of course, healthcare is just one of the many career options available at WKCTC. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll explore another group of high-demand careers that keep our communities moving. Welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. When people think about college, they don't always think about the incredible opportunities available in technical careers. But the truth is, skilled trades and technical professions continue to be some of the most in-demand careers in the region and across the country right now. So if you're someone who enjoys solving problems, working with your hands, using technology, or seeing the results of your work at the end of the day, these programs offer rewarding career opportunities with excellent earning potential. So to tell us a little bit more about these exciting programs, please welcome Deidre Moore, Dean of Applied Technologies. Hey Deidre, how are you?
I'm well, Mary Beth. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm excited to be here. I'm the Dean of Applied Technologies here at WKCTC, and it's an exciting time, and I got distracted thinking about you talking about the excitement of being in the trades right now, because we have so many new jobs coming to West Paducah.
Yes.
And so many of those are related to our programs, and it's just an exciting time.
It really is.
We'll be adding some nuclear components to our existing programs to help prepare for some of those jobs, and it's just a great time to be in technology. Some of our graduates are graduating and making six-figure salaries just right out of college, and it's just an exciting time to be in the trades.
Yes, I think that is a great intro and a great way to start this conversation. So first question that I want to ask is, what makes the Applied Technologies programs at WKCTC different from other post-secondary options?
There are several things that make it different. I sort of covered this in one of the break-in questions, but our programs, they instantly, from the beginning, they're in the labs, learning with industry standard equipment, learning the skills they're going to need on the job. We work with our local businesses and industry to make sure we're teaching what they're actually going to use on the job. They don't have a lot of things that they're learning that aren't relevant to their career interests. Our instructors have years of industry experience. They're not teaching from a textbook, they're teaching from what they actually know. And that makes a huge difference in what the students can get from them.
Sure. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there is a huge demand for these types of jobs in the world right now.
Oh, yes, there is. It's a huge demand. I believe in construction trades, that includes construction, electrical, those type of trades. I think in the next 5 years, there's been predictions of like 40 to 50% reaching retirement age. So those jobs are going to have to be filled by graduates or apprenticeship programs. Somehow those jobs are going to have to be filled. So there's a huge demand. And we have short-term credentials. So if you have you're just wanting the entry-level position, you can come in 8 weeks. We can have you having a beginner welding certificate, beginning construction, basic carpentry certificate, and it just makes a difference for your resume to do some upskilling and refresh some skills to get you in the workforce.
It's incredible that we can get you job ready that fast.
Yes,
it's amazing. So the next question I have is, what kind of careers can students prepare for in the Applied Technologies division?
Well, we have so many programs. The technology division, we have information technology, computer engineering, industrial maintenance technology, HVAC, auto technology, collision repair, welding, construction, electrical technology, culinary, cosmetology, fire science, and a few more I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. I didn't want Christy to outdo me with her
Well, I mean, it's
list.
so many though that it's hard to keep it up with them all. It's so many.
Yes, it is, and there's so many certificates in each program that, short-term certificates, diplomas, degrees, associate's degrees, that you can just go as far as you want. And we have great opportunities if you want to continue your education. Our CIT program, they can do a 2+2 with Murray State and get their bachelor's from Murray State. Our computer engineering students can graduate with an associate's at WKCTC and end up with a UK bachelor's degree right here and stay in Paducah.
Wow.
So it's great opportunities for either going directly into the workforce or to continue your education.
So I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot right now. I know that you mentioned construction earlier, but what are some of the other highest demand fields that you're seeing in your industry right now?
I would say industrial maintenance is one.
Okay.
Industrial maintenance is not what I pictured industrial maintenance was before I came to WKCTC. It's very technical related, computer related, and it's a great program. We have some grants with different unions that are trying to get more employees that way, and it's really a industry that is growing quickly.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot again, and I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about our CET program that maybe not a lot of people know about. So I think we have partnership with UK.
We do have a partnership with UK, our computer engineering program, and you can get your 2-year associates here in computer engineering, go on to UK and get your bachelor's. And with that UK bachelor's, that just opens the door to so many opportunities to pursue a master's and doctorate, and just continue your education.
And when you say go to UK, do you mean go to Lexington?
Well, you could if you wanted to, but you could just stay right here at Paducah campus, on our campus, and keep that small energy going.
I think that's
small
great.
Campus.
I think that that's something that not a lot of people know about, that we do have that 2+2 program, 2 years here, then 2 at UK, but you can stay on this campus the whole time.
Yes, you don't have to leave and go to Lexington. You could, if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
But you can choose to stay here on campus with smaller classrooms and excellent instructors and professors on both sides of that degree for the associates and the bachelor's.
Okay. So what about someone who's maybe been in the workforce for several years doing one job, and maybe they want to change careers? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to pursue it. Look into the options. A lot of our students are not fresh out of high school. They're the more non-traditional students. They've experienced some life experiences, had different jobs. We've had students who have a bachelor's degree from 4 years who come back to get a degree in the trades. The experiences that they bring to the classroom help enrich the other students who may be traditional high school students' experience. They have lots of ideas and concepts that they've learned on whatever job they've been on that they can share. And we also work with those students to use their work experiences, or maybe they have industry credentials, to do some step exams and get them some classroom credit for that experience. We don't want them paying for something that they've already learned how to do in their past experiences.
Yeah.
So.
Something you said earlier, you said that not all of our students are fresh out of high school. You know, I talk to students a lot, and I hear a lot students say, I thought I would be the oldest person in the class. And that's just not the case.
No. I've had students who were retired from a career and were just looking for something to do part-time and thought they might be interested in that class.
That's
and
great.
You know, it's great. And they bring a lot to the students who are the traditional younger students.
So this is probably something that a lot of students don't need to worry about, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What would you say to someone who's considering college, but they're worried about finding a job afterward?
Right now, that should not be a concern. If you are learning your competencies and getting that degree and certificate, you should have no problem finding a job. Our programs work with the industry and local businesses to make sure that we're teaching what's needed for the jobs, and the industry and businesses know that. So they start reaching out to us when they have a job opening. And if you develop a professional relationship with your instructor and program coordinator, and you later down the road need help finding a job, you can email them. They're still going to help you. They want you to be successful.
Yeah, that's great. So I've got one more question for you, Deidre, but I do want to pose, for those of you watching, another question. Ask a question. If you have a question for Deidre or anybody else who has joined us tonight, please ask that question. This is a great opportunity for you to learn more about what we offer at WKCTC, and with Deidre, a great opportunity for you to learn more about our technical careers. So Deidre, the last question I have for you is, what makes the Applied Technologies Division at WKCTC a place where students can succeed?
I would say our faculty make our students successful. Our classes are small. You're going to develop a relationship with your instructor and program coordinators, and they want you to succeed. They want you to take what they've taught you and go out in the world and be successful. And that just makes a huge difference. Then I know when I was in college, in a 4-year college, I I had classes that had 150 students in it. Those instructors didn't know me.
Yeah.
The instructors here know their students. They know them by name. They mentor them. They may give them a little extra help to help them learn a skill or a competency because we want to see them succeed. And I think all the student success goes to our instructors and faculty members. I think
Well
they're
said.
great.
Very well said. Thank you, Deidre, so much
Thank
for
you.
being here with us tonight. I really appreciate it. And you know, it's just so exciting to hear about the many career opportunities that combine hands-on learning with these real-world experiences. These programs are preparing students for careers that are not only in high demand today, but that are going to continue to be essential for many years to come. And of course, not every student begins college with a career already in mind. Some students come to WKCTC to explore their interests, complete their general education courses, or prepare to transfer to a four-year university. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll learn about the many opportunities available through our Arts and Sciences division. Hello and welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC Livestream. For many students, college is about more than choosing a major. It's about discovering new interests, exploring career possibilities, and building a strong foundation for whatever comes next. So whether your goal is to earn a bachelor's degree, prepare for a professional career, or simply make your next step toward your future, the Arts and Sciences Division offers flexible pathways that can help you get there. Students can complete their general education courses close to home, save money their first 2 years of college, and seamlessly transfer to many four-year universities to continue their education. To tell us more about these opportunities, I'm pleased to welcome Britton Shirley, our Dean of Arts and Sciences. Welcome, Britton.
Hi, Mary Beth. It's nice to be here tonight.
Yeah.
As you said, I'm Dean of Arts and Sciences here at WKCTC, and that covers most of our general education classes as well as some specific programs.
Okay, so to start things off, can you tell us what types of general education classes are in the Arts and Sciences Division?
In terms of general education, we have English, oral communication, so that's basic public speaking. We've got math, science, and then your social sciences, so things like sociology, psychology, political science, things like that.
Okay, and then what do these classes prepare students to do after graduation?
I think the primary reason for these classes is really helping students transfer on to four-year universities. These are your, what we call general education classes, and these are core courses that almost any four-year school is really going to require students to have. If you're not transferring and planning to go into a technical field like Deirdre was talking about, these are courses that are still going to be required, a smaller portion of them, that are really going to help you learn how to think critically, how to think creatively, how to solve problems that are going to be useful in any field you go into.
Okay, for sure. And then are there any technical programs in your division for students?
Yes, along with the Gen Ed, we've got a handful of technical programs. We've got 2 programs in education. So we've got interdisciplinary early childhood education, so that's pre-K if you wanted to work with those students. We've got elementary education, middle school education, or high school education. If you're interested in law enforcement, we have criminal justice, which can go into law enforcement or the corrections track. We have a business program, which is probably our largest technical program, so that prepares students for careers in like accounting, management, HR. And then we have 2 programs down at our Paducah School of Art and Design campus, which is down in Lowertown.
Wow.
We have a visual communication program that prepares students for the workforce in creative industries like videography, video production, print production. And then we have an associate in fine arts degree, which you can become a practicing artist in things like ceramics, drawing, painting, sculpture.
Wow. So, you know, Deidre was talking about the so many like certificates and diplomas and degrees options available within her division. Sounds like that you have so many as well.
Yeah, I would say within the 3 divisions we have here at WKCTC, we really have something for anyone. We're a buffet.
I think that you're right. So, can you explain sort of what the overall typical experience is in that classroom setting, especially for maybe an adult student who hasn't been in a classroom in a while?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I'm a child of the 80s, and I think of like, you know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where they're just falling asleep and Ben Stein is talking to you. That's really not what's going to happen in a WKCTC classroom, right? We have small class sizes. We have dedicated faculty. They're going to know your name. You're going to do group projects. It's not going to be walking into a lecture hall of 150 people with everybody falling asleep. It's much more interactive than you probably remember back in the day.
I love that. So, Britton, I'm going to ask you one final question. And I just am curious if you have any advice or like just any closing thoughts or statements about arts and sciences and what you would tell to a prospective student.
You know, I think a lot of people think of the arts and sciences or the gen eds as classes you just have to get through as part of a degree. And I think that does a disservice to a lot of these classes. You know, whatever field you're going into, learning how to communicate clearly, learning how to solve problems, these are things that are going to be useful in life. And if whatever job you find, these are the things that are going to help you pivot if your company changes or reorganizes. These are the skills that you are going to use throughout the rest of your life. They're not going to become obsolete anytime soon.
Well said. Thank you so much, Britton, for joining us tonight. I really appreciate your expertise.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, you know, I love that arts and sciences give students the opportunity to explore their interests while building that strong academic foundation. And as we've heard throughout tonight's live stream, every student's journey is unique. But regardless of which program a student chooses, one thing remains the same, and that's they don't have to navigate that journey alone. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk about one of the many ways that WKCTC supports students long after they've enrolled and started classes. Hello and welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. So we have a couple more guests, so I want to give you another opportunity to ask your questions. So if you've just joined us, you have an awesome opportunity tonight to ask questions to one of our dozen guests that we have here tonight. We have experts from across campus who are here to answer those questions, and we want to answer them live for you right here. Also, there's a short form that's linked in the comments section, and if you fill that out, you're going to have an opportunity to win a $500 scholarship for our fall semester. You could also win a $50 gas card or a pair of Apple AirPods. And the cool thing is that we are going to give that away to somebody listening tonight. And again, all you have to do is fill out that short form in the comment section. Okay, guys, so choosing the right college and the right program is an important first step. But, you know, success doesn't happen in a single day. It happens over time with encouragement and access to resources and people who genuinely want to see you reach your goals. At WKCTC, we believe that asking for help is a sign of commitment to your success. And that's why we've created a wide range of resources to support students every step of the way. To tell us more about those resources, I am pleased to welcome Dr. Sancy Teague, our Vice Chancellor of Student Services. Hey, Sancy.
Hey, Mary Beth.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. As you said, here at the college, I am the Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services, and that is really just a fancy way of saying that I have the pleasure of working directly with students and departments that support students, either academically or non-academically or a combination of all of the above. We just get to work directly with students and help them find their way to success.
Wonderful. Very well said. So there may be some people out there listening who have heard about our Student Success Center.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what is the Student Success Center and what sort of services are available?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for asking, because the Student Success Center is one of my favorite places on our campus. If you are visiting our campus, certainly come and visit it. It is at the Matheson Learning Resource Center, and within that space, we support students in 3 different ways. One is academically. We have in-person and online tutoring. If you come in person, we can pair you up with one of our professionally trained tutors. I know that earlier you were talking about the difficulties of math. Math is one of our most popular subjects that students come to seek help with.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of highly skilled math tutors, as well as all of your other subjects. Many are in the Arts and Sciences division that Britton was talking about. We also have online tutoring. It is 24/7 virtual tutoring available anytime online. A lot of our students are working and they don't really have time to come to campus during our normal hours. So we have that online option available for them.
That's wonderful. And I think the really cool thing about the Matheson Learning Resource Center is it's really just a hub for student success and resources. You have the library on the top floor, then you have the Student Success Center and the Tech Hub, and it's all just right there.
Yes, and that is what we love about that space, because, you know, students don't often know who to ask or where to go, but we like to say, if you just come in the building, ask somebody and we're going to get you connected to the right space, whether it's that tutoring or the library. We also have success coaches who are available to work with students. You were talking earlier about non-traditional students and first generation, and a success coach is a great resource for them, because their entire purpose in being at the college is to help a student work through their time management, develop a plan for success, and just utilize the resources that we have.
Okay, so I heard you say success coach. So for someone out there who may not know, can you explain a little bit about what a success coach is and how that might be different from Amanda's area in advising?
Exactly. So in Amanda's area, they are really working with students to nail down what that career path is and focus on classes to get you to that next stage. A success coach is really that bridge between your academic and your non-academic challenges that you might have.
Okay.
You know, as a non-traditional student coming back to school, you probably have a family. You probably have cars. You probably have a lot of different resources and things that you're trying to juggle within your life. And a success coach is there to help you figure out the best way to juggle it. They can connect you to our student resources, like Sydney was talking about earlier with the gas cards. They can also help you figure out your own time management plan. And so if there's a student who's out there struggling at all, come talk to a coach. Their favorite part of their job is just sitting and talking with students.
That's awesome. That's a very cool job too to have, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm getting some information that we have a question online. So we're going to go over to Lindsay, who I believe has a question for Sancy.
Okay.
Hey guys, So Brooke from Facebook asked, what resources are available for students who need flexible class options?
Different options for students who need some flexible scheduling. We have classes that are completely online. We have programs that are completely online. And those online classes are a great option for someone who is working during the day, and they can really only focus on school in the evening hours because you have an entire week to get that classwork done. So you can kind of manage that on your own and figure out the best time that you need to work on that. We also have classes that start in August as well as October. So if you're kind of thinking, gosh, August is here already, I'm not really sure that right now is the time, look at our October options because we've got a lot coming up.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really cool about WKCTC is it's really never too late.
Right.
There's always something happening. There's always classes starting at some particular point within the semester.
Yes.
Which is so convenient. So, we've talked about life happening. So if a student were to begin falling behind because of life happening, maybe it's work or family, what should they do? What should be their first step?
So the first step is to reach out to your instructors because they need to know what is going on in your life. And if you are going to miss an assignment deadline, they need to be able to work with you on that. Second thing is to reach out to the Student Success Center or anyone over in the Matheson Learning Resource Center. And so we can help get you connected with those resources that you might need. And, it's hard when you're overwhelmed. I went back to school as a working adult. I was raising a young family, and I know life happens, it gets in the way. So totally understand where a lot of our students are coming from. But don't wait till you're overwhelmed. Start asking right at the onset because the sooner we know, the more resources we have and the better plan that we can help you develop.
Yeah, for sure. So we talked a little bit earlier about the Tech Hub, which is right next door to the Student Success Center. So can you explain a little bit about what do I need to do with the Tech Hub, or what can the Tech Hub do to help me?
Okay.
Is it just like if I have like technical problems with my computer, or is it other things as well?
So the Tech Hub is a wonderful resource that is relatively new here on campus. And someone was mentioning earlier that, if you've got a computer, you just bought it, you don't really know how to work it, bring it to the Tech Hub.
Cool.
And our facilitator will help you figure that out. They'll also help you figure out how to access MyPath. Sometimes our adult students are great with the technology that they use every day, but not necessarily the technology that we use here at the college. So the Tech Hub can help you figure that out.
That's wonderful, and that's such a great resource for sure. So I have one more question for you. And it is, what one piece of advice would you give to someone who might be nervous about coming back to college?
Well, being nervous is completely understandable, but certainly do not let fear make that decision for you. You are not alone in this journey. We have lots of resources here, lots of caring people who want to help you. The hardest step is making the choice to come to WKCTC, but it will be the step that changes your life.
I love that. I feel like that was like a perfect soundbite for the whole stream. Thank you so much, Sandy,
Thank you so much
being
for having
here
me.
with us tonight. So one thing I hope that everyone watching has heard throughout this whole live stream is that student success does not happen by accident. It happens because students have access to people who genuinely care, resources that make a difference, and a campus community that is committed to helping you reach your goals. So we're going to take one final break, and when we come back, we're going to learn about the many ways WKCTC supports students beyond academics. welcome back to the Come Home to WKCTC live stream. Before we move on, this is your last chance to get your questions in. If there's anything you would like to know about WKCTC, whether it's admissions, financial aid, choosing a program, or student support, go ahead and drop in your questions now. Our team is standing by and ready to answer as many questions as we can before we wrap up tonight. And if you haven't already entered for our prize drawing, there is still time. All you have to do is complete the short form that is linked in the chat to be entered for a chance to win, drumroll, a $500 scholarship for the fall semester. We also have a $50 gas card and a pair of Apple AirPods. We're going to be drawing our winners at the end of tonight's live stream, so don't wait. Get your questions in, complete the form, and stay with us until the very end. And if I didn't reiterate it enough, one of you guys watching who filled out that form will be winning those 3 amazing prizes. Okay, so every student's journey is unique, and sometimes success in college depends on having support beyond the classroom. Whether it's connecting students with campus and community resources, helping them navigate unexpected challenges, or simply making sure they know where to turn for help. Those services can make a meaningful difference in a student's college experience. So joining us now is Sydney Nelson, who is our Student Support Coordinator, to talk about the resources available to help students overcome obstacles and stay focused on achieving their goals. Hey, Sydney.
Hey, Mary Beth. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I am Sydney. I'm our Student Support Coordinator here at WKCTC, and I do all things non-academic.
Okay.
So I support students with their non-academic concerns, and then I also dip my toes in student life a little bit.
Okay, I love that, love that. So some people on campus may have seen the really bright flyers or the posters that say Get Help. So can you tell us a little bit about Get Help and what sort of resources Get Help can help with?
Yeah. So as I said, non-academic is my area of expertise, and the Get Help form is kind of a catch-all for our students. So anything that they are having issues with, they can submit that form. That can look like transportation concerns. Maybe they don't have gas to get home from class. Maybe they need some food before payday gets here. Things like that is where they would fill out a Get Help form.
Okay, okay. So you talked about transportation, but let's talk about our campus cupboard.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about what the campus cupboard is and how students can access that?
Yes, our campus cupboard is our on-campus food pantry. Our WKCTC currently enrolled students can shop once every 30 days, completely free. They do not have to pay anything back. We keep non-perishable food items, feminine products, even some baby products, because we know a lot of our students are non-traditional. And then we also have a QR code, so if there's something in there that I can't think of or I didn't think of, we do take
requests.
Yes, requests from our students.
That's great.
Thank you. The campus cupboard is free, and they can shop once every 30 days.
Okay. Is there a limit to what people can take? Like, is it only like maybe 1 item or 2 items?
That's a good question. There is a limit on certain items, and we do have a guide in there.
Okay.
And we're actually implementing over the summer, so hopefully in fall and August, when we start classes back, we're going to have a new pantry software. So it's going to be like a little mini grocery store. You'll actually come in and scan your barcode items and check out.
Okay, very cool. So we've talked a little bit about transportation. We've talked about the food pantry, the campus cupboard. Let's talk a little bit about mental health and what wellness resources are available to WKCTC students.
Yes. So we know that mental health is very, very important to college students. You can't really do much anything else if your mental health is not there. So on our campus, we do have a licensed therapist that students can see for free. And to get started with counseling, you just submit the Get Help form.
So let's just reiterate that for a second. They can get mental health resources for free.
Yes, for free at no cost.
That's huge.
Yes.
Because so many people are in need of that.
Especially college students.
For sure.
Yes, all those deadlines gets to them.
So you mentioned earlier that you dip your toes a little bit into student life. So can you talk about why student life is an important part of the college experience and how students can get involved.
Yes, so student life is very important, and not just to make friends. I hear that a lot, but it's to build a network, build community, and also start building your resume before you graduate. So it's a lot of different reasons why students want to join a club or an organization, and we have a ton of clubs and organizations based on interest. So somebody may be going to be an educator. We have a club for future educators. We have a club for future radiographers. So students can join clubs. Actually, on our app now, you can download and see a list of our organizations and clubs, and you can click join. And they can also message me or our SGA president, Talia.
Cool, very awesome. And then I have one more question for you, Sydney, and that would be sort of an advice question. So what's one thing that you would want every student to know before they ever might need your office?
Oh, I would say it is okay to ask for help. I give you permission to ask for help. And also, when you walk in our office, you will never be judged. As I said, the campus cupboard is free, but also there's no questions asked.
I love that. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Sydney, for being here. I really appreciate it. So I think that this conversation is a wonderful reminder that success in college isn't just about earning good grades. It's about having the support, the encouragement, and the resources to overcome challenges and keep moving toward your goals. As we wrap up tonight's live stream, I want to thank each of our guests for sharing their time, their expertise, and their passion for helping students succeed. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you for spending part of your evening with us. We hope that tonight has answered some of your questions, introduced you to some of the many resources and opportunities available at WKCTC, and given you the confidence to take that next step, whether that might and what that might look for you. So at this time, I'm going to go over to Lindsay, who is going to be naming our giveaway recipients for the evening.
Hi, everyone. So the winner of the $50 gas card is Brianna Burgess. Congratulations. And then our second winner for the Apple AirPod 4 with noise cancellation is Jeremiah Wilson. And the winner of the $500 scholarship for fall 2026 is Olivia Rogers. Congratulations. We will contact you all shortly, tomorrow maybe, and we'll let you know how you're going to get your prizes. Thank you guys for participating, and congratulations again.
So everybody, I want to remind you that fall classes begin August 17th, and then our 8-week classes begin on October 12th. And there is still plenty of time to enroll. So to make it even more convenient, we are going to be offering extended enrollment hours leading up to the start of the semester. So this week, August 3rd through 6th, we will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. This coming Friday, August 7th, I just want to let you know that we'll be closed for the first half of the day. So first half of the day in the morning, we're going to be closed for some faculty and staff meetings, but we're going to be open on Friday starting at 1:30 until 4 p.m. Then next week, August 10 through 12, will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. August 13th will be open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the week that classes starts, we'll actually be offering a couple days of extended enrollment, August 17th and 18th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you still have plenty of time and opportunities to come visit and get enrolled. So if you've been thinking about college, now is the time to stop by campus, meet with our team, and let us help you get ready for the fall semester. No matter where you're starting from, whether you're coming straight from high school, returning after time away, changing careers, or finishing a degree that you started years ago, there's a place for you here at WKCTC. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you soon on campus, and good night.